All right, how are you guys doing tonight? Are you guys good? Yeah, right. Just to tell you a secret, if one day in the future you want to pay lobola, right? Special offering is coming, it's an investment. You get what I'm saying? I'm telling you, favors and flavors are heading your way on that one. You get me? You guys think I'm joking? You play. All right. Okay, let's not get into it. All right, so are you guys ready for tonight? Okay, cool. Are you guys on YouTube ready for tonight? Hey, we can hear your comments. All right, cool. Are you guys ready to welcome our panel tonight? All right. Put your hands together for Cynthia. Heavyweight. Yeah, tonight will be hectic. Right. By the time we are done here, you'll forget it was raining today. All right, I want you guys to put your hands together for Nolene. Nolene. Yeah. Yeah, these women are walking out like tonight, like you can see by the look on their faces. All their hair is curly and all. You check, it's like it's happening. Yeah, you get me. All right, I want you guys to put your hands together for Luando. Yeah, Yeesh. Luando is the first Xhosa I know walked from Eastern Cape to here and back. You get me? I'm joking. Luando is the only preacher I know who you won't hear what he's saying, but you understand him. It's like, yeah, he makes sense. All right. Just because his name starts with a Z, so he's coming out last. Put your hands together for Zenzo. Yes. All right. Cool stuff. As you can see, it's hectic. All right, so we're going to get right into it because I know last time our people, they complained that there was not enough time. Feel like there should have been more time, so I'll get right into it. Right, so this month there was the whole conference. I don't know if you guys heard about it, but around gender-based violence, basically. You get me? And it was I think one of the biggest questions in this conference was the whole thing of the punishment of gender-based violence. And I think since we're talking about gender-based violence, I think we can start with the ladies, like from the ladies' perspective. How do you think the law should handle gender-based violence?
Firstly, I think it should be handled both genders. So whether it's gender-based violence through a man beating a woman or a woman beating a man, the consequence should be the same for both. And I think it should be imprisonment.
Imprisonment?
Yes, but not like 3 months, like maybe life imprisonment or something like that.
All right,
yes.
Okay, cool. But I think when we talk about violence, the gender who are the most violent is male.
But
I
think the reason for that is because 90% of the time it's the women who are going to report the fact that the men are being abusive and stuff. But we live in a nation where it's embarrassing and shameful for a guy to go to the police and say, my wife is abusing me.
Well, let's think about it this way, right? I think I'll bring that one to Nolene. Like when we speak of violence, meaning physical violence, right? You get me? I think, two things is that we don't expect a woman to beat up a guy.
No.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not expected.
No.
I don't know if you saw that. I think there was a guy who used to lose against men in MMA, right? And this guy was a military guy.
Imagine.
So he changed gender. He became a woman. Now he's beating the women.
Us. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't like it.
So naturally speaking, gender-based violence, it always goes towards women,
female,
you know what I'm
yes.
saying? So it's a men thing whereby, I'm not saying that it doesn't happen where bruv get beaten by a woman. I mean, I just heard a testimony the other day where the bruv was telling me like, this woman beat me up. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So these things happen, right? But what do you think as a woman, gender-based violence from a man towards a woman? Okay, let's address that because that is the majority of the cases, right?
Yeah.
What do you think as a woman, what should the punishment be?
Okay. Prison is cute, but our prisons are full. So, from my perspective, at first I had two thoughts about this because I was thinking about this the whole week. The first thought was that we hold this man down, then the woman beats him, isn't it? Then I was like, nah, this guy is stronger than the woman. So now we need to find a stronger person to beat this guy. Or we take the entire community and then go and beat him, because why? When you were a child, when they hit you, you stop it, isn't it? So now, when you're an adult and you're being, I feel like we should all just come together, show you fire, finish you right there nicely, so that next time you think of even starting, you're scared.
All right.
Can I just say something with that? So, for a guy to beat a woman up, right? There has to be something wrong in their mind, mentally.
With the men?
Yes, with the men and stuff. And we've seen time and time again where sociopaths, psychopaths, criminals or whatever have faced the consequences, whether it's within the community or whether it's in jail and stuff like that, and still gone back and done what they did. So this man, gets beat up by the community, he'll go move to a different community and do the exact same thing.
All right.
Can I come back? Sorry.
Wait.
First,
I think this is the issue, that the guys never have an input in it while the women are discussing.
Let us finish here. So, what I'm saying, ne? This man that thinks he can jump from community to community is going to keep being beaten in all of these communities to such a point where he's going to say, no, man, what I'm doing is not okay. Also, can we just add that this whole thing, men that beat women, there's something wrong with them, it's a decision. Listen, you need a beating. You didn't get hidings when you were a kid. Let's show you now so you can stop.
Okay, cool. So Sir Luando, we don't do it. Boom. So she's saying basically that grown bruv should be treated like children for beating women because they didn't get a beating while they were young.
Correct.
What says thee? Utini wena.
I think. Okay, I'm not gonna comment on what she says. I'll just answer your question. I don't want her to feel bad.
Okay.
No, I won't. You can comment. Who's gonna feel bad? I stand by what I said. I said what I said, and I said it with my chest.
Hold on. My friend, there is microaggression. What you have
just done.
Yeah.
So the problem is in our society. It's like the whole abuse thing towards women. It's just a consequence of a belief system that we have. So if you study the different tribes that we have in South Africa, specifically the Nguni people, they believe that it's okay. And I remember growing up, and this is something that gets instilled into your mind. It's okay for a guy to actually beat a woman. So it's something that they growing up with this thing. So your punishment won't solve that because it's part of the culture. You see? And now what we have, it's a constitution that has no values. So when I say values, or let me start with the word principle, because principle is the most important word. So our constitution doesn't have principles to actually teach men. Remember, the law, if a law is there just to regulate people's behavior, and that's what it's there for, that law has injustice. The reason why, because the law is also responsible to form people's behavior. It's not just there to regulate, but to form people's behavior. But how do you, the Bible actually explains this. If you study when Moses got the law, and they have to be in the desert for long, and what happened was that the law was not just there to regulate their behavior, but to form their character. And when you look at our law, it says nothing about who we are as South Africans. It says nothing about who we are as men. It says nothing about who the women are. So there's a problem there. So you can put people into prison. It's a good thing, the concept about prison. Do you know that heaven also had prison, which is hell? Yeah. So it's the same thing. It's a good concept, but prison is producing gays because guys, they sleep with gays. So it's not. Remember, it's a correctional center, but their behavior is not being corrected. You see what I'm saying? So you can beat them as long as you want, but they still have that belief system. So you're not helping them. Yeah.
No, no, no. Thank you. That's one. All right. Sir Zenzo. Oh, okay.
So we legislate this is what should happen, right? And if the guy is married with children and he commits GBV, he should be sent to a, because what it means is that he has too much energy. This
Do you understand?
he feels like he has too much power and he doesn't seem to have an outlet for this power. So what we need to do with him is drop him in the middle of a battlefield. So take him maybe somewhere down in Ukraine, just a helicopter hovering over, drop him with his parachute, with one bottle of water, one,
That's the one.
and a gun with like 4 bullets only. 4, he must survive, and then send him down, and then that's where he must be. Yeah, and that's the solution. That's the solution. And if the person is youngish, and we don't want to condemn them for good, what we do is that.
So wait. Are we saying that the married guy with kids get condemned for good?
Yeah, we're sending him away. Simply because, you know how hard it is for a woman who's married with kids to end up in a position to say, I am going to now report you. This has gone too far. It means these beatings, these hands that she's been catching have been hectic to a point where she's like, you know what? Doesn't matter what happens with the kids. It doesn't matter what happens with you. I am going to report you. She's at her wit's end. She's probably spoken to the uncles, the fathers, the grandfathers, the community, and the community is even scared of this guy. I mean, why would you speak to the community? The community does nothing about it.
No,
so
we
that's why
beat him.
we need to send him to a battlefield. This guy, otherwise, he's gonna beat up this whole community. So now, a juvenile who does the same thing, we should put him in a cage with Casper vest. That's what we should do. That's what we should do.
But I don't think that's a fair one because the fight it to be like 6 minutes, 9 minutes the most. What if he knocks out Casper?
What if he can't knock out Casper? Have you seen Casper in action? If he knocks out Casper, we give him a professional. Yeah. Yeah. And we give him a professional and 6 months in prison for having the arrogance to knock out the person we're trying to punish you with. How dare you?
All right, yeah. So here's something which was brought up, right? An argument someone had online, regarding gender-based violence, right? So what they say is that the victim should determine the punishment for the abuser. Because if the justice is for me, I think I should determine something that will satisfy me.
The problem is our species, our gender, is very emotional. So at that moment, we're going to make a decision, and then in the middle of us seeing the decision happening, we're going to be like, no, stop. So I don't think the victim is the one to decide the punishment. Yeah.
What says you?
From my perspective, I feel like the victim in that moment is too weak to decide the level of beatings we're giving this man. Isn't it, we're beating him? So this victim can spectate. They can be there if they want to. But I feel like someone who is going to know how to offer the right amount of beatings to this human being must be the one that says what happens here.
So what happened, for example, if the victim says, no, this person should not be punished?
We punish them. Because they're gonna, we punish the person still.
Oh,
the
okay.
victim does, okay, you're a victim, it happened to you. But if this man leaves you, he's gonna go and find another one, isn't he's gonna go and beat that one. So what you say doesn't matter right now. As long as you told us thank you, then we go and beat the man.
All right, okay. So Lwando, let me say that the woman is someone close to you. You get what I'm saying? And this happens. Don't you think that you should have a saying on what should happen to the bruv?
Yeah.
Right?
I
So,
should- definitely.
Now you
yeah,
want-
okay,
Definitely,
cool.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I,
elaborate.
I love what Cynthia said because, okay, let me say this. Let me try to paint a picture. Yeah. So the problem with our society, again, I'll go back to the society. At a very young age, what happens that people, they focus on parties, right? At the age of 30, no man wants that woman. So they have to be a follower of a man, even when the man keeps beating the woman. So now, even when the guy, in fact, there are women who had an opportunity to actually report the guy. Remember, I was living in a house where probably, I think I stopped the fights where the guy would be beating the woman. You see what I'm saying? But the woman wouldn't say, go, I'm going to report you. She didn't do that. Why? Because she's feeling lonely. She feels like her world is going to fall apart. So she would rather be beaten than to let the guy go. So you want a fixed punishment for everyone. I don't know if I'm making sense.
No, I get
Yeah.
what you're saying.
So because there are people who do these things, but they still go free. You know what I'm saying? That's not justice. So you want something probably in our constitution that says if you, as a guy, you do this, you go to prison or whatever that they do to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
But a victim should not determine how the guy is punished. Because some of them, they still beg the guy to stay.
Okay, so Zenzo, I'll bring this one to you, right? Just adding on to what Sir Luando, Mr. Mbasani was saying there. You get me? What if the victim is in a state where she can determine that which, or let me say, if she can't determine, can't we ask the next of kin? I mean, we do that with everything else. Can't we ask, like, let me say if she has a father, we ask the father. If she has a brother, we ask the brother. What do you think should happen to this gentleman? Or
Look,
this, not a gentleman, this bruv.
I think in that type of situation, right, you're setting yourself up for the type of laws that are not solid. Because what's going to happen is that there will be some relative that will come out of nowhere and they will ask for a punishment that even you, the person who's asking, will be like, that's
Which one?
that's too much. You know what I'm saying? And there is such a thing as too much. We can't say, no, there's no such a thing as punishment that's too much.
Well,
There is such
let me say this, right? Let me say, okay, I'll say from my perspective. If a bruv raises his hand on my door, I want the bruv dead. Like, there's no other, you get what I'm saying? I want him taken to Carlton Center, dropped off, so he can visualize how he's going. You get me? Or I want him to have the Chinese water drop death, where the water just drops on you until it goes through your brain. And you get what I'm saying? Because that's how I feel. Should I not be justified for how I feel? Yeesh.
Look, you know what the problem is there is that everybody knows somebody. Everybody has a relative. Everybody has a next of kin. Everybody has somebody that's close to them. Now, what's going to happen is that for everybody who's wronged, we're all going to come out and say, okay, this is the punishment I'm calling for. Because even what if the GBV goes the opposite direction and we have a situation where this woman was beating up my brother, for example. Let's say, my brother was catching hands.
Well, I think...
and she's strong. Wait, let me get to the end of this picture
Okay.
so we can just decide, is it fair or not fair, right? So then in that situation, like now, I'm like, hey, my brother, 2 blue eyes, lip hanging, what beatings were you catching? But that's not the point right now. What I need to now determine is the punishment for this woman. Then I come out, stand up, say, yeah, rape her. Do you see the problem?
No.
You don't see the problem?
I don't. I don't see a problem. You get me? Yeesh.
This is why
'Cause
me,
now
I said beating.
So now I'm thinking now from a guy's perspective. Okay, yeah, that's a bad
This is a
thought.
problem.
All right, okay, cool. Okay, beatings is fair.
It is, because then you get women to beat this lady, isn't it? Because she thinks she's Rambo.
Yeah, because I think the victim should decide. I think if a guy gets beaten, we should send him to the army. Something is clearly wrong.
Yeah.
2 years in the army, you know, come back.
Wait. So in GBV, where the guy is the victim, the guy must be punished. Is that what you're saying?
No, it's not punishment. It's an upgrade.
Did you want to go?
We're sending you for an
Man
upgrade.
didn't want to go.
Like,
If-
bro, sending you for an
Zenzo,
upgrade.
You were giving the man that's beating women a gun with 4 bullets. I know, I don't like your punishment, sorry.
All right, anyway, let's continue, right? Let's continue. So this one is going to be quick, right? So there's this idea, right? I don't know if you guys know this feminist movement where, like, you know, equal rights, equal, you know, between women and men. And then I heard this one argument the one day. It was a lady. I was shocked that it's a lady who's saying this. An elderly lady was saying this. Like, you know, if you think about South Africa's unemployment rate, right? It's our unemployment rate is what, 36%? It's 36%, right? Meaning, right? Meaning that 61% of people are employed, right? Based on feminist status, meaning that 50% of those employed are women. You get what I'm saying? So the argument was that if we were to take it back to the way things are supposed to be, and unemployed, the 50% of women that are employed, we replace them with men, and we say by law women should not go to work, we'll have 100% employment. Right? You get me? And kids are going to have mothers to raise them. What do you say?
Okay. Do you understand? I feel you.
All right.
Because when we first started this whole thing of women working in the first place, it was because men were busy dying there in World War II, and then there was no one working, and then we had to step in and work. And then the companies were like, we can tax them. Then we carried on working. I honestly believe we should stay at our houses and look after the house, and then the men should go and work, and that's how we bring balance. Because even if we look at how the kids are being raised, back then, the kids were homeschooled, meaning you got to, they weren't indoctrinated by other people. You were the indoctrinator. So this whole thing of sex education and all of that rubbish wouldn't be a thing, because me as a parent, as a mother, I'm not teaching that to my kids. But now we've stepped so far away from that kids are being fetched at 5, 6 p.m. from school. They are not at home as much as they are in the school environment or other places, and they're being taught by so many other people. Whereas if the woman just stayed by the house, isn't it, and looked after the house and the children, and the men went to work, we'd have a society that is so much better than what it is now.
So Patrick,
So,
answer.
Yeah, yes.
so I'm not a feminist. I just want to start there.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
not a feminist. But the idea of us living in a society that was lived back then won't work now. Because we live in a nation where, or in a society where there's a lot of single moms and stuff like that. So now to say that you're going to take away their jobs so that you can get men to work and stuff like that is unfair to them. Because how will they raise the money for their kids and stuff like that? What I could say, though, that probably might work is empowering entrepreneurism, basically.
What?
So getting women to start their own businesses. If we want in the corporal, in the workspace or whatever to be more men and stuff like that, then let's get the women who are stay at home or to be at their houses to then run businesses of their own and stuff, where they will employ the guys and stuff. That way they can still bring income. But to say that all women must stop working, send them home, what about the single moms that have kids to raise as well?
Can I just?
Because
Can I
wait.
answer?
Because we are busy beating the men, right?
No.
We are giving men beatings, and these men are running away, and now they leave the woman alone to raise the kids. So they have to work so that they can get.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, I think the answer to this question determines everything.
Okay.
Because
You have the answer.
Because no, I'm going to ask Nolin.
You're going to ask her for
Yeah.
the answer. Okay.
For something to do something, the identity of that thing determines what it does. Does it make sense?
Okay.
Yeah. Nolin, what is a woman?
Okay, I feel like we're going far, ne? No, 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 no. We're not even gonna answer such questions because that honestly is a question that should be asked in the transgender and all of these forums.
No, I'm
we
asking you.
in ourselves have a full understanding of
So
it.
you can't answer what a woman is.
By what
Is that
God
what you're saying?
created. That's not what
I
I'm
just
saying.
asked you a question. What is a woman?
No.
Tell me, what is
That-
a woman?
That has nothing
No,
to
it
do with the
does. It
question.
does.
We should be asking those things in place.
All right.
Can I
I see-
answer
I
what
see.
Cynthia said?
Wait.
No.
Wait. Okay. Yes. Sir Zenzo, you have the last word here before we turn into chaos.
Oh yeah, just to say your theory won't work, Patrick, because we're making two dangerous assumptions there. The first assumption is that that every woman can afford to be a stay-home mom, parent, wife, or whatever, because in many cases, it's not like all women are stably married or they're in relationships where they can afford to do that. Second assumption that we're making is that we can replace all the skill that women are bringing into the workplace and just take them home and then just bring out either the unemployed or the other guys that we're replacing and putting in the position where women were, assuming that all that skill can just be covered by all the guys out there. The fact of the matter is that it's not like they don't bring anything to the workplace. It's not like we can just replace them just like that in the workplace. And that'll become the problem. So as much as you want to be a stay-home mom, Nolin,
Can I answer, please?
soccer mom, but that wouldn't work in this world. We can't just go and say, let's replace them all and let's bring out all the guys unemployed, skilled or unskilled, and say they'll just replace all the skill that's in the workplace that's being put in by women.
Can I
That'll
answer?
be wrong.
Okay, I'll give you 2 seconds.
Thank you. I'll take it. So, first of all, when we say it won't work in this world right now, we are looking at it from the degradation that has happened from women going into the workplace. So, what we need to do in order to answer this question is to go back into the society the way it was before
Time machine.
and look
Is
at.
that your
Wait,
proposal?
no, what is this?
Okay.
Through the stats, to go back and to look at what the single mom home. Wait, what? The stats of the single.
Soccer mom.
That one. The houses that were that only had a single mom. What were the stats back then? Then we need to look at what the society looked like back then. Because if we answer from a state where we've already degraded the society, we're gonna answer falsely.
Years
Back
of
then it
confusion.
worked
Here we
and it
are.
All right,
was
guys,
like
give
a
them a
way.
round of applause. Yes, give them a round of applause. Wow. Yeah, it was epic. Guys, come on, give them a round of applause. You can do better than that.